So here's a quick video about how to use the reflexives and how we can plug them into multiple time tenses and do various things with them. So there are three scenarios for the reflexives: the may, te, no, say, lo, etc. So scenario number one is when the may, the te, the nos come before the verb. Me gusta, te amo. Scenario number two is when it comes plugged into the verb. Dame, dime, espérame. And scenario number three is when and how we use say. Say works for every person but the I, the we, and the you person. And that's a whole subject by itself. So essentially, those are the three things. And then you can plug them in. Okay, the first two scenarios, scenario number one, may comes, me gusta, te amo. It is always with interactions. It always implies an interaction. The verb shows you who's doing the action. The may, the te person is the recipient. And it always only works about interactions. Scenario number two, dame, dime, déjalo, espérame, typically are requests or instructions when you ask somebody to do something. Wait for me, give me a minute, give me a call, etc. And say is a general action or without a clear recipient. So in other words, not an interaction. I go to sleep, I get up, I work out, I think, I buy, stuff like that. Okay, they said. And so we can plug them, that particular structure of mete plus a verb, we can plug it into all the other different time tenses as well. Te voy a decir, I'm going to tell you. To tell you is an interaction, and voy a implies it's in the future. I'm going to tell you. Te voy a decir. You can plug it into the perfect past tense. No me los han dicho. They haven't told me. No me lo han dicho. They haven't told me. Han is they have. Dicho is the verb ending for that time tense, and that interaction. So you can think like in my Spanish Academy, the way I teach, it's like Lego elements. You get a whole bunch of like colorful Lego cubes. Every color coded represents a different time tense or a different interaction, and then you plug and play and you make structures. And we focus on communication rather than grammar. So you can ask me all your questions. It's actually a subject learned during 6 weeks. It's really a lot. It's a big chunk of the language, and it's very confusing. It takes about 6 weeks of practice for you to get down the mechanics of all of it. But I want you to know that there is hope. You can do it. If you've tried before and you like encountered a lot of confusing grammar, educated explanation and really frustrating, then it doesn't have to be that way. So I hope that helps, and I would really encourage you, if you already understand some of them, things like espérame, dame, llámame, olvídalo, things like that, you can plug them into the different time tenses, and just really easily, you're just going to double your vocabulary. Because when you know the formula of like, they've told me to, right? Or they showed me, or whatever, I've paid, you can just plug in another element and just get a really big, impressive sentence relatively simply, because you know two different elements, and then you plug them together and they become a third big one. Good luck. Let me know how it's going for you in the comments.